Hello everyone, today we will be discussing The Hollow Men, which was written by T.S. Eliot. Starting with the introduction of the poet. Thomas Stearns Eliot was a towering figure in 20th century literature, renowned for his groundbreaking poetry, insightful literary criticism, and profound influence on modern literature. He was born in St. Louis, Missouri, in 1888, but his literary journey took him to England, where he became a naturalized citizen and a central figure in the burgeoning modernist movement. Eliot's work is characterized by its intellectual depth, exploration of themes of alienation, disillusionment, and the search for meaning in a rapidly changing world. His poetry often reflects a sense of cultural fragmentation and the anxieties of the modern era. Eliot's poem The Hollow Men is one of his most famous works, filled with rich symbolism, imagery, and existential themes. The opening lines are, "We are the hollow men, we are the stuffed men" means people are empty inside, filled only with meaningless things. Leaning together, headpiece filled with straw. Alas, means they lack substance and real thoughts, like scarecrows. Our dried voices, when we whisper together, means their words are empty, lacking significance. Are quiet and meaningless, as wind in dry grass, or rats' feet over broken glass, in our dry cellar means their communication is futile and hollow, like insignificant sounds in a desolate place. Shape without form, shade without color, paralyzed force, gesture without motion means they are incomplete and ineffective, lacking true purpose or direction. Those who have crossed, with direct eyes, to death's other kingdom means the dead who face life with purpose are remembered differently. Remember us if at all not as lost, violent souls, but only as the hollow men. The stuffed men means they are not remembered for anything meaningful, just as empty shells. The second section of T.S. Eliot's The Hollow Men, which continues to explore themes of emptiness, fear, and spiritual paralysis. Eyes I dare not meet in dreams means fear of facing judgment or truth. In death's dream kingdom, these do not appear means in the afterlife, true vision or insight is absent. There, the eyes are, sunlight on a broken column means the eyes symbolize clarity or judgment, but here they are associated with ruin. There is a tree swinging, and voices are in the wind singing, more distant and more solemn than a fading star means images of decay and distant, fading hope. Let me be known nearer, in death's dream kingdom means the speaker desires to avoid confrontation with the ultimate truth. Let me also wear such deliberate disguises means hiding behind false appearances. Rat's coat, crowskin, cross staves, in a field, behaving as the wind behaves, no nearer means using disguises to blend in and avoid reality. Not that final meeting in the Twilight Kingdom means avoiding the inevitable encounter with death or judgment. The third section of T.S. Eliot's The Hollow Men deepens the poem's themes of desolation, spiritual emptiness, and the futility of existence. This is the dead land, this is cactus land means a barren, lifeless world, symbolizing spiritual desolation. Here the stone images are raised, here they receive the supplication of a dead man's hand means empty religious rituals offered to lifeless idols. Under the twinkle of a fading star means the last remnants of hope are fading away. Is it like this, in death's other kingdom means questioning if the afterlife is as bleak as life. Waking alone, at the hour when we are, trembling with tenderness means a moment of vulnerability and fear. Lips that would kiss, form prayers to broken stone means even expressions of love or faith are futile, directed towards lifeless objects. The fourth section of the poem deals with themes of despair, emptiness, and spiritual desolation. The eyes are not here, there are no eyes here means absence of true vision, understanding, or judgment. In this valley of dying stars means a place where hope and light are fading. In this hollow valley, this broken jaw of our lost kingdoms means a world that is both physically and morally ruined. In this last of meeting places, we grope together, and avoid speech means people gather in a place of finality but avoid meaningful interaction. Gathered on this beach of the tumid river means reference to the river, the boundary between life and death, bloated with decay. Sightless, unless the eyes reappear as the perpetual star means hope for the return of true vision or understanding. Multivoliate rose, of death's twilight kingdom means symbol of spiritual enlightenment that exists in the afterlife. The hope only of empty men means a faint hope that hollow men cling to. The final section deals with themes of futility, the gap between intention and action, and the slow, anticlimactic end of things. Here we go round the prickly pear, prickly pear, prickly pear, here we go round the prickly pear, at 5 o'clock in the morning. Means a twisted version of a nursery rhyme, symbolizing the futility and absurdity of human actions. Between the idea and the reality, between the motion and the act, falls the shadow means a gap exists between thought and action, where intention is lost in uncertainty and fear. For thine is the kingdom means borrowed from the Lord's Prayer, highlighting the distance between human actions and divine power. Between the conception and the creation, between the emotion and the response, falls the shadow means further emphasizing the disconnect between intention and fulfillment. Life is very long means a statement of despair as life drags on without meaning. Between the desire and the spasm, between the potency and the existence, between the essence and the descent, falls the shadow means the shadow represents the failure to fully realize desires, potential, or existence. For thine is the kingdom means repeated, emphasizing the unattainable nature of spiritual fulfillment for hollow men. For thine is, life is, for thine is the means fragmented, indicating the incomplete and broken nature of human existence. This is the way the world ends, not with a bang but a whimper means the world ends not with a dramatic catastrophe but in quiet, defeated resignation, reflecting the ultimate failure and emptiness of the hollow men. That was the detailed explanation of the poem. Now we will be discussing the other aspects like critical analysis of the hollow men. First is existential void. Eliot's The Hollow Men paints a chilling picture of a world devoid of meaning, purpose, and genuine human connection. The poem's desolate imagery and haunting repetition evoke a sense of emptiness and spiritual decay. Second is loss of faith. The poem explores the loss of faith in traditional values and beliefs, leaving the characters adrift in a world where the old certainties have crumbled. The hollow men are figures who have lost their souls and are haunted by the ghosts of their past. Third is fragmented identity. Eliot's use of fragmented language and syntax mirrors the fractured state of the characters, reflecting their broken and disjointed identities in a world where meaningful connections are impossible. Fourth is unfulfilled desire. The poem's exploration of unfulfilled desires and the longing for connection, only to be met with emptiness and despair, further underscores the character's existential predicament. Fifth is use of repetition. Repetition plays a significant role in the hollow men, emphasizing the monotony and futility of the hollow men's existence. Phrases like "we are the hollow men" and "this is the dead land" are repeated, reinforcing the idea of stagnation and the lack of progress or change. The repetition of the final lines, "this is the way the world ends not with a bang but a whimper," underscores the poem's central message about the quiet, anticlimactic end of the hollow men's world. This technique also contributes to the poem's rhythm, which is irregular and unsettling, mirroring the hollow men's aimless existence. Sixth is allusions. Eliot's The Hollow Men is filled with allusions to literature, religion, and history, which add depth to the poem's exploration of human emptiness. The opening epigraph, "Mr. Kurtz, he dead," is a reference to Joseph Conrad's Heart of Darkness, a novel about the moral and spiritual decay of a man who becomes corrupted by power and greed. This allusion sets the tone for the poem, as Kurtz, like the hollow men, is a figure who has lost his humanity. The poem also alludes to Dante's Inferno, Shakespeare's Julius Caesar, and the Bible, each of which contributes to the poem's exploration of themes such as damnation, betrayal, and the loss of faith. Moving towards the use of figurative language in this poem. First is metaphor. The poem is rich in metaphor, using imagery to convey abstract ideas. The hollow men themselves are a metaphor for humanity's spiritual emptiness, while the Dead Sea symbolizes the loss of hope and vitality. Second is simile. Similes like "eyes I dare not meet in dreams" and "like a stuffed man with a button nose" draw comparisons that highlight the character's superficiality and detachment. Third is irony. This is the way the world ends not with a bang but a whimper. There is a sense of irony in the poem's conclusion. The expectation of a dramatic, impactful end is undercut by the anticlimactic whimper, which reflects the hollow men's insignificance and the futility of their existence. Fourth is personification. Eliot uses personification to imbue inanimate objects with human qualities. The wind whispers and the sun beats on the characters, suggesting a sense of oppressive silence and relentless, inescapable heat. Now moving towards the themes. T.S. Eliot explored many profound themes throughout the poem that collectively depict a world marked by existential dread, spiritual void, and moral disintegration, capturing the fragmented consciousness of the modern era. First is loss of innocence. The poem explores the loss of innocence and the disillusionment that follows in the wake of war and social upheaval. The hollow men are figures who have witnessed the horrors of the world and have lost their faith in the ability of humanity to find meaning. Second is fear and uncertainty. The poem reflects the fear and uncertainty of a post-war world, where the future feels bleak and the present is filled with a sense of dread. The characters are paralyzed by their fear and unable to find solace or meaning. Third is guilt and shame. The hollow men are haunted by their past actions and the weight of their guilt. They are consumed by their own shame and unable to find redemption. Fourth is spiritual desolation. The poem paints a powerful picture of spiritual desolation, where the characters are cut off from God and from any sense of connection to something larger than themselves. They are trapped in a state of endless despair. Now moving towards the imagery and symbolism used in The Hollow Men. First is the wasteland. The poem is set in a desolate wasteland, a symbol of the spiritual emptiness and moral decay that pervades modern society. The wasteland is a place where nothing grows, where hope is extinguished, and where life has lost its meaning. Second is the hollow men. The hollow men are figures who have lost their souls and their ability to feel. They are hollow shells of their former selves, lacking any sense of purpose or direction. Third is the Dead Sea. The Dead Sea represents the loss of hope and the inability to connect with anything meaningful. The characters are trapped in a state of spiritual death, unable to find salvation. Fourth is the Valley of the Shadow. The Valley of the Shadow is a place of darkness and despair, where the characters are haunted by their past and tormented by their fears. It represents the state of human existence after the loss of faith. Lastly, we will be discussing the poem's impact and legacy. The Hollow Men has had a profound impact on modern poetry. Its bleakness, its exploration of alienation, and its use of unconventional poetic techniques have influenced generations of writers. The poem's themes of despair and disillusionment have resonated with readers in a world grappling with social upheaval, technological advancements, and existential questions. The Hollow Men's exploration of spiritual emptiness and the search for meaning remains relevant even today, in a world where many grapple with similar anxieties and uncertainties. Overall, The Hollow Men is a powerful and haunting poem that captures the essence of the modern condition. It is a poem about loss, disillusionment, and the search for meaning in a world that often feels empty and meaningless. Eliot's use of imagery, symbolism, and fragmented language creates a sense of disorientation and despair, reflecting the character's spiritual and emotional fragmentation. The poem's themes of existentialism, the loss of faith, and the fragility of human connection continue to resonate with readers today, reminding us of the enduring questions that haunt our existence. That's it for today's video. Make sure to like, share, subscribe, and hit the bell icon.